I was born in Barbados, West Indies. It's in the Caribbean. So that's a part of West Indies is the whole designation of that area. Grenada, Trinidad, Tobago, Barbados, St. Vincent, they're all considered the Caribbean because they're close or in the Caribbean Sea, the
Yeah.
Caribbean Sea, yeah. It's a small island, so they're parishes. I'm from the parish of St. Michael. So they're parishes, which are like little towns. Oh, the description is it's a beautiful island. It's one of the most friendly and beautiful islands in terms of the the beaches, the countryside, very green. The water is blue water, clear blue water. You can see the fish swimming around you when you're in the water. What it's known for is the hospitality. The people there are very friendly. Um, Unlike some islands that can be a little contentious, Barbados has a reputation of being one of the most friendly islands. Barbados is only 166 square miles. That's the total. It's a small, relatively small island. You could traverse it. You could traverse the island in about an hour and a half. You could drive without traffic. You could drive around the whole island in no time. Yeah.
Wow.
And it ranks up there. It's educationally, the population is 98 percentile educated. So that's also a strong contributing factor to the island's
Definitely.
kind of mystique, you know?
Okay.
Love it. Love it. The thing with Caribbean food, West Indian food, Bajan food, Barbados is also, you can also say I'm a Bajan. You can say I'm a Barbadian if you're from Barbados, or you can say I'm a Bajan. A Bajan is another way of saying it. The food has its roots in African style. It's a combination of everything, right? Because it was a Commonwealth of England. Matter of fact, they called Barbados Little England because back in the days, it made so much money for England with sugar. So it's a combination of the Irish, English, African, and native Indians that were there, that combination of that food. So it's very spicy, you know, we use a lot of spice, very flavorful food. The national dish, I would say, is cuckoo and flying fish, which is cornmeal based. It's cornmeal, okra, but the food is you can't beat the food. Yes, my mother, rest her spirit, when she was alive, that was one of our most favorite times as we grew up, going home so mom could cook. See, we love mom's cooking. That was the thing. Every holiday we would go home because mom cooked all of the traditional foods, the rice and peas, the stewed chicken, the cuckoo, all the traditional dishes. Yeah. I loved her rice and peas with stuffing, but what brings me back home the most is cuckoo. Because when I left, you know, that is the national dish, and we ate a lot of cuckoo when I was a kid before I left Barbados, you know. So that always brings me back home, you know, cuckoo and flying fish. Flying fish is a rare fish. It used to be very prominent only around the waters of Barbados. So that's why it became the national fish. But now, you know, the feeding grounds have spread out and it's in other places, but that was our dish, flying fish. It's a cornmeal based food. What you do is you you would boil the cornmeal. It's like you're boiling it and you're thickening. It's a process. Stirring, you have a cuckoo stick. There's actually a stick, a type of spoon that you would use to make cuckoo. It's a long wooden stick. So when you're boiling the cuckoo, the cornmeal gets thick as it boils down. It gets thicker and thicker. So you have to stir it. So you would add your okra, a lot of okra. So it's kind of, I wouldn't say slimy, but it adds some context, some texture to the cornmeal. It makes it smoother. And you would stir. I remember my mother, my grandmother stirring cuckoo. You would have to stir it for hours, like, because the more the cornmeal boils, the thicker it gets. It becomes very, very, very thick. So, and then you would make the gravy with the flying fish is a steamed fish. You can have it fried. The flying fish, you can fry it, and would also make a fish gravy with it, right? So you would have the steamed flying fish, and you would add tomatoes, onion, thyme. We use a lot of the spice thyme in our food, oregano, black pepper, salt, and our gravy is more of a mustard-based gravy, not tomato-based. So we use a lot of mustard or turmeric in our gravy. So yeah, I chose it because it is hard to make. It's hard to make traditionally. It's like a traditional dish. It's one of the cornerstones of food. It's our national dish. So it holds relevance. As I said, from when I left Barbados when I was 7. So that memory of cuckoo stuck with me because it was like it was kind of a mainstay, right? It's inexpensive. It's cornmeal, okra, which we grew in the backyard. We grew our own vegetables. So it wasn't like it was an expensive meal. It was a staple to families in Barbados. It was a staple. So that's what makes it so relevant and significant to me. That's why I remember that the most. Oh man, it's heaven, brother. It brings back all of the memories of childhood, up to now. That's what's so significant about it to me. I remember all the things up to me coming to this country, it brings all of that back, and including here, but mostly it brings back significant childhood memories. Like I said, my grandmother, who's passed away, I remember her making it, my aunts, it was a meal that everyone could participate in. When you're old enough, you got the honor of stirring the cuckoo for a little bit, because you're actually, depending on the size of the pot that you were making, it got pretty, as a kid, it was pretty hard to stir it, those are the memories,